So hello everyone. In the last video where we discussed regarding important properties in case of observed in case of a periodic table, and we discussed regarding four important properties one by one. First one is regarding size, atomic as well as ionic radii. In detail we discussed in the last video. And next comes ionization energy. The third one is electron affinity. The fourth one regarding electronegativity. So about ionic radii as well as atomic radius in general size, in the last video we discussed. But today we go with another important periodicity property, that is ionization energy. So it is also simply represented as IE. IE nothing but ionization energy, or we can written as IP. IP stands for ionization potential. If energy is expressed in terms of electron volt, then potential term comes. If energy expressed in terms of a joule or a kilojoule per mole like that, then energy comes. So anyhow, ionization energy is the another second periodicity property. First you should know what is this ionization. Let us say I have an atom A. It is in neutral state. Now remove one electron. Now what happened? After removal of that one electron, that element A loses electron, becomes A plus. Again, if you remove one more electron from A plus, then it becomes A double plus or A plus 2. Like that, if you remove one more electron, A plus 3. That means every time, what happened if you remove one electron, a neutral atom becomes a cation or ion formation taking place. So after loss of electron, a neutral atom becomes cation or ion formation. So this process is called ionization. The process is called ionization. So what is ionization? The process of removal of an electron, from neutral atom becomes ions. So here to remove that electron, some energy is needed. So that is nothing but ionization energy. So what is this? Actually, this tells about amount of energy required. Remember, ionization energy is required energy, not a release of energy. Amount of energy required to what process? For removal of an electron. So energy required to remove electron, not to move the atom, to remove electron. So amount of energy required to remove an electron, one electron, what? From valence shell of an isolated neutral gaseous state atom. So a condition applied. So whether electron removed from all element? No. That atom should be present in the gaseous state, or you can say neutral condition. So amount of energy required to remove an electron from valence shell, that means outermost shell of an isolated, singly occupied, neutral state, a gaseous state atom. That is nothing but ionization energy. Let us go with the atom structure with the help of Bohr's atomic model. We will explain. Let us say this is an atom A. Okay, this is an atom A, and different shells are there. So this plus indicates the nucleus. There are two shells. Let us see in this diagram. The first shell is the one is the first shell, and another one is the second shell. Let us assume first shell electrons are there. In second shell also electrons are present. Now tell me, among first and second shell, which is the valence shell? Yes, exactly correct. Second one is the valence shell. So here what happens? After heating that atom, either by heating directly with the flame or heating by electric current or any other method, after heating or increase of temperature, after heating this atom, the first electrons present in the valence shell gain energy, and one electron come out from the valence shell of an atom. So after heating, the electron present in the valence shell, one is come out. Now all the electron will not come out at a time. One electron come out. That's that atom A now get converted to A plus. So that process is called as ionization. How much amount of heat is applied? So that energy is nothing but ionization energy. So amount of energy required to remove an electron from an isolated neutral gaseous state atom is nothing but ionization energy. So here point to be noted, energy to be supplied as well as ionization energy is always endothermic. There are two types of thermal process one can find, endothermic, exothermic. The process taking place with absorption of energy, that is nothing but endothermic. Process taking place with loss of energy, release of energy, is called as exothermic. So combustion of hydrocarbon, combustion of methane gas, large amount of heat release taking place, that is exothermic reaction. Similarly, in this case, ionization energy is endothermic process, energy exo. And here the question is arise whether only one electron removed at a time. Yes, at a time one electron is removed. But if you wanted to remove another electron, so from A atom not possible. From A plus it is possible to remove another electron. After removal of second electron, A plus now becomes A plus 2. So this is called first ionization, and energy involved is called first ionization energy. And the second step where ionization energy is different, this is second ionization energy. Suppose if you want to remove one more electron, then what happens? A plus 3. There we need another ionization energy, that is IE3. So successive ionization energy, I1 is the first ionization energy, I2 second ionization energy, I3 third ionization energy. And it is observed that if you go for successive ionization energy, third ionization energy is very much higher than the second ionization energy, and that is much more than the first ionization energy. Remember, removal of electron from neutral atom need less energy, but removal of electron from already charged atom, charged species are very more needed. So removal of electron from neutral atom need less energy, but removal of electron from charged species need more energy. So higher the positive charge and not removal of electron, more amount of energy that is So if you find the successive ionization energy, third ionization energy is more than the second ionization energy, second ionization energy is more than the first ionization energy. So removal of electron from isolated neutral gaseous atom need less energy, but to remove the electron from the charged species, cation species need more energy. Why? Because cation charge species, nuclear charge is more, the nucleus charge will strongly hold the remaining electron present in that atom. As a result, we can say it is difficult to remove, and if it is removed, then more energy needed. So this is a point to be noted. Suppose fourth successive energy is there, then that is higher than the third. But remember, maximum number of electrons can be removed from an atom is 3, not more than that. That will disturb the electronic configuration, stable state configuration. So this is a point to be noted. Endothermic process, and this is the successive ionization energy. Now let us go with the variations in the periodic table. If you look about the periodic table, what about the ionization energy? It is observed that down the group, top to bottom in the periodic table, ionization energy goes on the decreases. Ionization energy decreases because where shell number increases, valence shell number increases, size goes on increases. As a result, distance between the nucleus and the valence shell electron is less. As a result, easy to remove, force of attraction is less, easy to remove electrons. Since reason shell number goes on increases down the group. But across the period from left to right in the periodic table, ionization energy increases because their shell number will not increase. Electrons are added to the same shell, and nuclear charge is going to be more. As a result, force of attraction between nucleus and valence shell electron is more. As a result, across the period, ionization energy increases. So this is the point that should be noted. Let us see the factor influences the ionization energy. So when ionization energy changes, what are the factors that is decides the ionization energy? These are the different factors that decide the ionization energy. First one, ionization energy is directly proportional to nuclear charge or effective nuclear charge. Greater the nuclear charge present, ionization energy found to be more observed. Similarly, higher the size, greater the size, bigger the size, valence shell electron and nucleus, less force of attraction is present. As a result, bigger the size, ionization energy found to be less. Smaller the size, more ionization energy needed. The bigger the size, less ionization energy. And also, the more of electron from, remember, ionization energy directly proportional to charge of the cation. So greater the charge, difficult to remove. Like here, +1, +2, +3. So removal of electron from +1, +2 and +3. In which case more energy needed? From +3 state, removal of electron need more energy rather than +2 and +1. So higher the charge, then removal of electron is difficult, so more energy is needed. And for negative charge, or it is anion, extra electron already there in case of anion. As a result, inversely related to ionization energy. So ionization energy inversely related to charge of the anion. Greater the negative charge, removal of electron is easy. So these are the factors that will influence the ionization energy. And here it is observed that some exception cases one can find, and that is observed while writing electronic configuration. So those elements, if it is end with the half filled configuration or fully filled configuration, half filled orbital or fully filled orbital containing configuration, from that removal of electron need more energy. So those elements, their electronic configuration end with half filled state, fully filled state. What is that half filled state? It may be P3 is the half filled state. Similarly, P6 is the fully filled state. And if you go with the N-1D 5 half filled state, N-1D 10 fully filled state. If an atom with electronic configuration end with this state of orbital, then difficult to remove that electron. In that case, ionization energy found to be maximum. In this case, ionization energy found to be maximum. Suppose if you go with respect to the nitrogen, if you go with the nitrogen shows atomic number, it is going to be 7. So 1s2, then 2s2, then 2p3. Similarly, if you go with oxygen, atomic number 8, 1s2, then 2s2, 2p4. Now tell me, out of nitrogen and oxygen, which shows more ionization energy? So nitrogen shows more ionization energy compared to oxygen, because look at the end configuration. Here 2p4 cross the half filled state, but this is 2p3 half filled state. Removal of electron from half filled state need more energy than this not half filled or other configuration. So nitrogen shows higher ionization energy, whereas oxygen shows lower ionization energy. So this is the half filled means an orbital contains set of orbital with one electron singly occupied. That is half filled. Fully filled means a set of orbital completely occupied. So this is one example where we have to remember. First, ionization energy of nitrogen is more than that of oxygen because of these configurations. So let us see the third periodicity properties, is electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Simply electron gain enthalpy, EGE, for timing we will write electron gain enthalpy. So process observed in electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity is just reverse to that observed in ionization energy. In ionization energy, energy to be supplied to remove valence shell electron, and that neutral atom becomes cation. But in this case, we have to find some release of energy. Their energy release in electron affinity, when electrons are added, an extra electron is added to the valence shell of an atom. Here adding an extra electron to this valence shell or a neutral atom, but in ionization remove the electron. Okay. So amount of energy released when extra electron is added to the valence shell of an atom is nothing but electron affinity. As the name indicates, affinity means attraction towards itself. And it is also called electron gain enthalpy. Energy observed. Enthalpy nothing but technical thermodynamic term that tells about the heat content, heat of the system. So in ionization, energy to be supplied there by electron removal, but in electron affinity, energy release after adding an extra electron. Let us say it is an atom, let us say atom A is there, and first shell, second shell, and of course already electrons are there in all the first and second shell. But you are adding an extra electron to that particular neutral state atom. What happens after adding extra electron? So after adding extra electron, so this positive charge and electron, nucleus and electron show some force of attraction. Remember always, during force of attraction some energy release taking place. So here some energy release taking place. Force of attraction always leads to the release of energy. So when the extra electrons are added to the particular atom, it occupies the valence shell. Then nucleus and incoming electron. Nucleus is positive charge, electron is negative charge. So force of attraction, thereby energy release taking place. So this will happen in case of a electron gain enthalpy or in case electron affinity. Energy that is to be released when extra electrons are added to an atom. And always remember, if you add an electron to an atom, if you add an electron to to an atom, neutral atom, then energy release taking place. As a result, electron affinity value is exothermic in nature. Normally, electron affinity is exothermic. When it is observed, you are adding electron to neutral atom, not a charged ion, neutral atom. But if you add electron, then this atom A becomes A minus 1. Suppose if we have an atom A, after adding one electron, then become A minus. And the first electron addition to neutral atom, this is a neutral atom, then this is exothermic. But if you add an extra electron to that anion, then this already added electron and incoming electron shows repulsion. In that case, endothermic observed. Energy to be absorbed, energy to be supplied. Has a point to be noted. First electron gain enthalpy is exothermic, but second electron gain enthalpy endothermic, and successive electron gain enthalpies are found to be endothermic. So first time adding electron to a neutral atom is exothermic, but next time if you add electron to an ion, then it is endothermic. It is very clear. Electron addition to neutral atom is always exothermic. Electron addition to anion is always endothermic in nature. Addition of electron to anion need energy, whereas addition of electron to neutral atom release energy taking place. As a result, what we written electron affinity exothermic, that is first time addition of electron to neutral atom. So this is the point that should be noted. And let us see in the periodic table how the variation is going to take place. So down the group, electron gain enthalpy boson decreases, whereas across the period, electron gain enthalpy boson increases taking place. Because the size boson increase, as the attraction between the incoming electron and nucleus decrease. That is why electron gain enthalpy down the group decrease. But across the period, electrons are added to same shell. So nuclear charge is more, force of attraction is more, a large amount of energy release taking place. So electron gain enthalpy is more or increase across the period. And some exception cases where we have to remember for complex examination. Always remember, in general we can say down the group, there is a decrease of the electron gain enthalpy. But if you move from second to third period down the group, always remember, electron gain enthalpy of the third period is very much greater than the second period. Electron gain enthalpy of third period elements are greater than the second period elements. The reason is very simple. In second period element, there is no availability of any extra orbital. Valence shell orbitals not available as empty. But in case of third period, some extra empty d orbitals are available. Their incoming electron occupies. So here simple reason, availability of orbital, empty orbital, vacant orbital. In third period element, vacant orbitals are available, whereas in second period element, vacant orbitals are not available in the valence shell. So as a result, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine are the element in the second period. Similarly, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur and chlorine are the elements in the third period. Especially these are the blocked element. And it is observed that electron gain enthalpy of aluminium is greater than boron, silicon is greater than carbon, phosphorus is greater than nitrogen, sulfur is greater than oxygen, and chlorine shows higher electron gain enthalpy compared to that of fluorine. So this is the one exception point where we have to remember, observed in the previous competitive examinations. Let us see what are the factors that will influence the electron gain enthalpy. Mainly two factors. One, nuclear charge. Other one is the size. Greater the nuclear charge. When nuclear charge is more observed, atomic number is more. Number of proton, if it is more, nuclear charge is more. So greater the nuclear charge, it will attract the incoming electron easily, thereby more energy release taking place. So electron gain enthalpy found to be more. So this is directly proportional to nuclear charge. But if the size is more observed, already we find down the group size increase. Size more observed, nuclear charge and force of attraction with incoming electron is less, as a result electron gain enthalpy is less. It is inversely proportional to each other. So electron gain enthalpy directly proportional to nuclear charge, whereas electron gain enthalpy is inversely proportional to size. So these are the two important factors that will influence the electron gain enthalpy. Let us say fourth periodicity property, that is electron negativity. Electron negativity, simply it is written as En, electron negativity. What is this electron negativity? It tells about tendency, that is one capacity of bonded atom. Remember in the previous three cases: size as well as ionization energy, and also if you find electron gain enthalpy. We are talking with respect to individual atom. After adding electron, after removal of electron, then what happened? Individual atom. But here in the bonded state, bonded atom, atoms in bonded form, combined form. So it is the tendency of that bonded atom where it is observed in a molecule. In a molecule, what it does? It attracts the shared pair of electron. It attracts the shared pair. Shared pair means electrons present in that bonded case, bonded situation. So shared pair of electron towards its cells. So this process is nothing but electronegativity. Let us say this is the one process actually. So tendency of a bonded atom in a molecule to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. Itself is that atom side. Is nothing but electronegativity. Okay. So in this, for this we have to apply for covalent bonded conditions. So bond present is covalent bond. There are a variety of bonds one can find: covalent, ionic, coordinate, metallic bond. But it is applicable for covalent bond because we are talking shared pair of electrons. In covalent bond, electrons are shared, or we can say. So shared pair of electron that is taking place, taking place toward the atom. That is applicable in covalent bonded condition. I have two molecules, one H2, H covalent bond H, and another one HCl, H covalent bond Cl. So this hyphen indicate covalent bond. And in this case, since two hydrogen atoms present on the covalent bond, this is one electron from this hydrogen atom, this is another electron from the hydrogen. That means in that bond, a bond nothing but two electrons are there. Out of two electrons, one from hydrogen, another one from another hydrogen. Since these two electrons are equidistant observed between the nucleus of the atom, because here atom present is hydrogen, nuclear charge is same, here also hydrogen, nuclear charge is same. So these two electrons are placed equidistant. So force of attraction equally observed. So in this case, electronegativity concept is not applied, or we can say electronegativity is cancelled out, because this hydrogen shows now zero charge and this will show zero charge. This indicates partial. So in this case electronegativity cancels out. But if you go with the H and Cl, so there are two electrons are involved, one from chlorine, another one from hydrogen. But here the two atoms present are different, as these two electrons are not placed equidistant to each other. So here chlorine, since it attracts electron, so this pair electron somewhat near to the chlorine rather than the hydrogen, as this chlorine now experiences partial negative charge, whereas hydrogen shows partial positive charge. This indicates delta. Delta nothing but partial. So this hydrogen shows partial positive charge. Why it shows partial positive? That electron somewhat far away from the nucleus. As well, it will experience little positive charge. But this electron somewhat near to the chlorine that experience negative charge. So bond is not broken here, but electrons density or electron position slightly shifted to chlorine side. So that is why we can say this chlorine atom. So chlorine atom, its tendency to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. Now apply this condition. Tendency of a bonded chlorine atom in a HCl molecule to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. As that here it is observed that chlorine is more electronegative than the hydrogen. Chlorine is more electronegative than the hydrogen. Similarly, we can go for the any other element. But if you go with the order, you have to remember this. Fluorine is always shows higher electronegative than oxygen. After the oxygen, then nitrogen. And these three are very much more, I can say maximum ionization, maximum electronegativity observed. So the out of all the elements in the periodic table, these three elements, fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen shows high electron and negativity value. Among that, fluorine shows maximum. Fluorine shows highest electronegative element. If it is asked in exam, which of the following are the highest electronegative element in the periodic table? Fluorine, chlorine, oxygen, nitrogen. Then which is the answer? Fluorine is highest. Okay. So these three are higher electronegativity. In that fluorine highest. Next goes to chlorine. After that bromine, then iodine, then carbon. See, the carbon comes later. Like that order one can find. But these are very important. These are very important. You have to remember. First highest electronegative element fluorine, second highest oxygen, third highest is going to be it is nitrogen. Okay. So let us go with the variations in the periodic table. So it is observed that down the group, electronegativity value decreases, whereas across the period, electronegativity value increases. So down the group decrease, whereas across the period, electronegativity value increase taking place. So these are the conditions where we have to RAM. Next factor influences the electronegativity. So in which case electronegativity more? It is observed that if nuclear charge is more, then electronegativity value is also more, because if nuclear charge is more, it attracts the shared pair of electron. Here what we find is why chlorine attracts electron, because its nuclear charge is more than that of hydrogen. Okay. Next, it is inversely proportional to atomic size of an atom. Bigger the atom, less attraction towards itself, as result electronegativity less. So electronegativity inversely proportional to atomic size. After that, electronegativity directly proportional to positive oxidation state. An atom showing positive oxidation state. Similarly, inversely proportional to an atom showing negative oxidation state, or we can say valency. Then it is directly proportional to percentage of S character, percentage of S orbital involving in that bonding. Okay, so here it is observed that directly proportional to percentage of S character. This percentage of S character we can see in a chemical bonding topic. This is the different factor that will influence the electronegativity. Let us see easy rheumeric variations of these four important periodicity property in case of our periodic table. Down the group what happened, across the period what happened. Let us say this is across the period. Group number 1 to group number 18 in case of a modern periodic table, that is the period, and from first shell to the seventh shell. This is called as a group. Horizontal rows are nothing but a group. Vertical columns are called as a horizontal rows are called as a that is period. Vertical columns are now it is called as a groups. So here it is observed that period as well as a group. So across the period, if you find size across the period decreases, whereas down the group size goes on increases. And ionization energy across the period increases, down the group it is decreases. And then electron beam enthalpy or electron affinity value increases across the period, whereas decreases down the group. Similarly, electronegativity across the period increases, whereas down the group it is decreases. So this is a very easy to remember the important or four important periodicity property that is present in case of the second or third topic of your first PUC, or we can say class 11, that is classification elements and periodicity properties. So these are the important concepts normally one can find in this particular topic. Let us see very simple multiple choice questions. Identify maximum electronegative element among the following. You have to find maximum electronegative element. Which shows electronegative element? Look at that. One fluorine, second B option chlorine, other one bromine, other one sodium. Not only whether sodium is electronegative, no, it is a metal. Normally metals are showing lowest electronegative. That's the option B is wrong. And now fluorine, chlorine, bromine. Remember, this belongs to group number 17, but fluorine is the first element, chlorine second element, bromine third element in that group. So down the group, electronegativity decreases. Among three, it is observed that fluorine shows highest electronegativity. So among halogens as well as among all the elements in the periodic table, fluorine shows maximum electronegative nature. Next question: identify among the following shows metallic nature. Which of them is metallic in nature? Bromine, cesium, phosphorus, nitrogen. Remember, this bromine is non-metal. It's a one halogen, non-metal. And nitrogen is also present in a nitrogen gas, is a non-metal. Phosphorus is also non-metal. But these are the three options are not correct. But cesium is a metal in nature. So cesium is metallic in nature. And where it is used? It is used in case of a photoelectric effect to convert light energy into electrical energy, and also Einstein photoelectric effect, he used a material that is cesium. Okay, loosely bound electrons are there. Next comes third, which shows maximum ionization energy. Nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine, and then iodine. So here it is observed that ionization energy one can find by writing electronic configuration. Nitrogen atomic number it is 7 and electronic configuration 1s2 2s2, then 2p3. And oxygen atomic number 8, it's a configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. And chlorine atomic number is going to be 17. It's a electronic configuration after configuration of argon 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Oxygen again 1s2, then 2s2, 2p6, then 3s2, then 3p. It is 5 also. But for iodine, it shows maximum number. It crosses this electronic configuration. The atomic number of iodine is greater than that of chlorine. As a result, iodine shows the lowest ionization energy. But in case of nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine, look at that. Chlorine shell number is more. Third shell, it is second shell. As the shell number increases, size increase, ionization will decrease. So chlorine also not comes from category. So here, atomic number of iodine is more than chlorine. As a result, shell number further increases. It will be 4 also. Here it is 3. Shell number increase, nothing but size increase, ionization energy decrease. But now the competition between nitrogen and oxygen, which shows highest value. Shell number is the same, but look at the configuration 2p3, 2p4. Already I said half of the configuration need more energy, whereas incompletely filled configuration need less energy. As a result, ionization energy is maximum for nitrogen rather than oxygen. Next, identify the correct order among the following. So here I1, I2, I3 about first, second, third ionization energy. Already I said third ionization energy is always more than the second ionization energy than the first ionization energy. So here equal mentioned, option A wrong. Here equal and then greater than observed. Actually third ionization energy is more than second. This symbol is wrong actually. So B is not correct. And in case of C, first ionization energy less than second is less than third, so C is the correct answer. But in case of D, first, second, third, here first ionization energy is given more, whereas third less. So that is a wrong. Actually, third ionization energy is more than the second than the first. So the C answer is going to be the correct.